camping skill for you. Now, it's been a little bit while since we talked about camping, and the weather is finally turned in our favor. And not that you can't go winter camping, but it was below freezing where we were, so that's just a little bit chilly for us. So now that we're talking about camping, and we're getting ready for summer camp too, so we got to get ready, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we have a fire starter idea for you, and there are lots of ways to make fire starters, and we will show you several. We've got to start somewhere, so we're going to start with a very basic fire starter for you. And we have two that are done the same way. It's just wax paper, dryer lint, and some paraffin wax. So very basic. So let me show you what you actually need to do these. The first thing you're going to need is some wax paper, and you can use other paper, but I think wax paper with the wax already on it is much easier to use than plain. You can use plain brown paper, something like that, but we like wax paper, so go with wax paper. The next thing you're going to need is some lovely dryer lint. Now, do be careful with this because this can get quite messy and a little gross, so get your caregivers' permission and help getting all of this out of your dryer vent. So our lint. Now we need some paraffin wax, and paraffin wax can be a little difficult to find. Sometimes here it's nearly impossible. Look for the stuff for home canning, possibly candle making, but with the canning, you want to have plain wax is better. We have in a pinch, we were going camping and absolutely couldn't find paraffin wax. We used some paraffin wax that had some eucalyptus scent to it, and that was a little bit weird with our food. So you want to try and avoid scented wax. Just plain wax works great. You may need a pair of scissors, and I think we're ready to get started. You ready to see how to do this, campers?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, and like I always forget, cover your tablecloth. And Chloe was trying to remind me, and I still forget. Cover your work surface with an old tablecloth or some newspaper or something. You can possibly just lay some extra wax paper down, so don't forget to cover your work surface because this is going to get a little messy. So, you ready to see how to get started, campers?
Yeah!
Awesome. Okay, we are going to start with our wax paper. Now, do be careful. This wax paper always has a sharp edge, so you need to be careful. Probably get a caregiver to help you with this part, so because that does hurt. We'll need maybe about 12 inches or so. I really haven't measured it. It's about 12 inches. And take our piece of wax paper. This is where scissors will come in because it's wider. I guess you could cut smaller pieces. I never do. Cut it in half. And that gives me 2 pieces. As I said, you could do it smaller. Now, I have already made my wax shavings. Now, we'll have a different video on how to do that eventually, but not yet. And this is a skill for older girls, not your younger girls. So, for the girls that we have here today, we're just going to start with already shaved wax. I'm going to take some dryer lint. You don't want too much. Some there. We will start with our Hershey Kiss one. And be careful not to make a mess, and that's why we've got this on our wax paper. Just put it in the top. Now we will take it and pull it together and bring our sides up all the way and twist, twist, twist. We want that kind of tight. If you wear this out just a little bit, it stays. There is our Hershey Kiss one. Now for our other one, take our other sheet of paper, a little bit more dryer lint here. And then add a little bit more wax. And this time, I'm actually going to turn it this way. We will do more of our Tootsie Roll design. And take it and we will roll this up, push it, neat. And you want this kind of tight, not too tight. Hold it so that where your wax and your dryer lint. Hold that in your hand, and then take your left hand and take your right hand and twist. And again, kind of flare that out just a smidge, and then we will switch hands. Hold it in your right and twist with your left. And you don't want for these ends to be too long, but there you go. There is our 2 types of fire starters, our campfire starters with just our wax and our dryer lint. Campers, you ready to make your own fire starters?
Yeah!
Awesome. Now, here's our pile of fire starters, and they're really not that big a deal to show off. Now, we want to talk about storage real quick. You want to make sure and store these in a container with a lid, because you want to make sure that these do not get wet, because wet fire starters don't work. And you may even need to worry about the humidity. We one time went camping, and it was so humid we couldn't even really get the fire starters to start. It was just so humid in the air. So we're going to go ahead and seal these in our airtight waterproof container so that they'll be ready. Now this container will melt, so we need to make sure and keep this away from the fire. You don't want these to get too hot too. One time we had our fire starters all melt together because we left them in our out in the sun, and they were just like a solid brick, and it took forever to get our fire to start then too. So you want to make sure and try and keep them in a cooler place. So we hope that you had fun, and as we said, we'll check back and see the other methods on how to make fire starters and pick out which one works best for you and your situation. So we'll see you later.
Bye!